November 3rd, Rob Prince. Welcome to 365 Christian Men, where every day we aim to inspire and encourage with real-life stories about men. On this date, in 2013, Rob became the lead pastor for Central Church of the Nazarene in Flint, Michigan. Where the auto industry has taken multiple serious hits, there's still lead in the drinking water, and Rob experiences more pain in a week than many people have in a lifetime. But he's one of the most cheerful, upbeat men around, always ready with a word of encouragement. Here is his story.
Healing is not guaranteed, but God's presence is. Rob was reading an email at his office desk when a terrible pain hit his head, as if he'd been smashed with a baseball bat. At first, Rob thought it was just a normal headache. He'd had migraines since he was in preschool after all. But this pain felt different. It was heavy, hard, and brutal. He'd never felt pain like what he was feeling at that moment. Barely able to move or think, he reached out and rummaged through his desk to find some ibuprofen. But after taking it, he started to realize that maybe what he was feeling wasn't a migraine. Maybe it was worse. Thoughts raced through his aching mind as he began to list what could possibly be wrong. Was it a stroke? An aneurysm? Something else he didn't know? He stumbled to the outer office and met his assistant, who looked at him in shock. She asked if he needed to go to the hospital, and he did. After arriving at the hospital, Rob lost consciousness and was out for 3 days. He heard whispers of possible brain surgery and being transferred to another hospital to help him, and he finally learned what was wrong. The doctors told Rob that he had bleeding in his brain, and many people who have this don't even survive the day. But a miracle had happened. The bleeding stopped on its own, and surgery was not needed. He was in the hospital about a week, able to return to work in only 3. But his miracle didn't end the way most people expected it would. His health did not go back to normal. Instead, his condition left him with chronic pain. The migraines that had been a nuisance in childhood suddenly became a dreaded companion. After the hemorrhage, Rob had a migraine that lasted 4 months with no relief at all. All he could do was go to work, survive the hours, and return home to only lie down in darkness and silence, hoping and praying for relief. The medications and injections weren't working. Relief was just a dream. How could he face another tomorrow of pain that just would not stop? He desperately turned to God. Where was he in all this suffering? What purpose could there be in finding no relief? Why didn't he just heal him? Years after the hemorrhage, Rob finally found a medication that lessened his migraines. They weren't cured, but he no longer had them every day, just most days. Despite the continued lessened pain, Rob learned through his chronic pain how to empathize with others who suffered. Rob knew God could heal him. God could take away the pain, but even if God didn't, he could still live an amazing life. Rob could help others who were suffering like him, and they would be willing to listen because he was suffering too. He could provide them comfort and show them God's love. He could remind them that they were not alone, and in their suffering, God could give them the strength to make it through any trial. He even wrote a book to share his story called Chronic Pain: Finding Hope in the Midst of Suffering. Rob wanted people to know that despite the suffering of chronic pain, anyone could live a victorious life and be a blessing to others if they allowed it. Rob said, people can make it, even in extreme cases. He also said, God will give you the strength. Matthew 26:42 says, he went away a second time and prayed, my Father, if it is not possible for this cup to be taken away unless I drink it, may your will be done. Think about the pain or suffering you've endured. How can you relate to other people who have gone through similar situations? Healing is not guaranteed, but God's presence is.
You know, for Rob in our story, pain was his constant companion. He was a pastor, he had prayed, he did what he knew to do, but yet pain was with him. it stayed with him. You know, we hear the phrase often, there's two things that are certain in life. You hear it especially in the U.S., death and taxes. It's quite humorous, possibly true, but what we know to be true for sure is that every single person ever born on planet Earth will experience pain. It may be short-term, it may be long-term, it might be chronic, but we're all going to have to deal with pain. And the question is, when we deal with pain, what do we do with it? It may for you be a constant companion. It may be for you, if so fortunately you've never had to deal with it or deal with it very little. But the fact of the matter is, we all experience pain. Rob's challenge was, what was he going to do with his pain? And he chose something. And I think for all of us, we have a choice. You may be experiencing pain. You may have prayed and asked God to heal, take it away, and yet it might be the pain of physical, it might be emotional, it might be the loss of a loved one, but for whatever reason, that pain remains and is not God. Here's what we know to be true. God is faithful. And the pain may not be gone, the pain may not go away, but what we know to be true, and Rob learned this, and he demonstrated it in his life, he chose to combat his pain with joy. So what will you choose to combat the pain that you're experiencing? You know, it's easy to fall into it. It's easy to succumb to the pain because it's a very real thing. Yet, what if the pain that we're experiencing, God is going to use to do a greater work in us and through us? My name is Blake Maddox. I'm the Executive Director of 365 Christian Men. And I don't come to you today saying I'm an expert in this or take two scriptures and call me in the morning. The fact is, we have to walk through pain in this life. It's not fun, but we have to deal with it. But we can choose how we handle it like Rob did. Let's make the right choice, guys. God bless you.